All right, before we begin, I know we're missing a few friends today. Can you point to your partner, please? If your partner's not here, can you raise your hand? So we're all good.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, friends, today we are going to get started with lesson 10. Here's our learning target for today. Our learning target is I can build onto others' ideas while participating in a science talk about patterns of the stars. So earlier in the unit, can you choose how you'd like to sit, please? We talked about that word build, means to grow our ideas more and more and more and more. Just like when we build with blocks, they get bigger and bigger, but they all focus on one main idea. And the main idea today is that we're going to talk about the patterns of the stars. So yesterday we read about the patterns of the stars, and today we're going to use those ideas to help us with our science talk. Let's take a look back at our chart about the patterns of the stars. So all throughout this unit, we've been charting the patterns of the sun, the patterns of the moon, and the patterns of the stars. So yesterday, this is how we made our chart. Let's remember the ideas, Elias, that we talked about with the stars. We said that you can only see the stars at night and not during the day. So think about that. We said that when you are outside at night, you can see the stars, but if you go outside at recess, you cannot see them. But the important thing we talked about was stars always shine. Repeat, stars always shine. We talked about that word always. Doesn't mean sometimes, doesn't mean in the night or in the day. It's all the time. They are always shining. We also talked about how stars are very, very far away from the Earth. There is a star that's close to the Earth. It's our sun. But the rest of the stars are very, very, so far away we can't even imagine how far away they are. Some are galaxies away. And finally, we talked about how the light from the other stars is too dim to see in the daylight. Even though they're always shining, it's too dim for us to see during the day. These are the ideas that we talked about yesterday. These are the ideas that we're going to use to help us with our science talk today. I want you to think about this question. Why can't we see stars during the day? Think about this question for just a second. Why can't we see stars during the day? We've learned a lot about the patterns of the stars, and we just reviewed all those ideas we learned yesterday. Now think about the question, why can't we see stars during the day? When you think you have an important idea that would answer that question, give me a thumbs up. Why can't we see stars during the day? Turn and tell your partner that important idea that you have. Maybe you can retell Ruby what she just said. Why can't we see the stars during the day? What did you tell your partner? Because Ty wasn't here yesterday. So did you help her with what we talked about? I can see a lot of our hands are up. Hopefully you've had a chance to talk to your partner about an important idea that you think will answer the question, why can't we see the stars during the day? Before our science talk, you guys are going to have a chance to write down some of these important ideas on your note taker here in your module notebook. So the question we're thinking about is, why can't we see stars during the day? We talked about how in our notes we could jot down some important words, or we could make some quick sketches, because our notes are for us. They're to help us look at them and remember what we want to say. They're not for us to be reading. We're having a conversation in our science talk. So when we write words, we want to write words that are going to help us remember what we want to say. Does anyone think that they have some words that they might put on their note catcher today? What important idea did you just talk about with your partner? Why can't we see stars during the day? Jay, what did you tell your partner?
The sun is so bright. The stars, we can't see the stars.
I like how Kennedy's showing a connection. They talked about that, and she said something similar when she talked with Jay as her partner. So let's say that Jay wanted to include that on his notes. Maybe he could even write, sun is bright. Now, remember, we talked about this earlier in our last science talk. I know that's not a full sentence, but those notes, those 3 words will help me remember that I want to talk about how the sun is so bright. Maybe I can make it looking so bright in my quick sketch. Does anyone want to share another important idea that they talked about that was maybe a little bit different before we go back and write our own notes? Why can't we see the stars during the day? And what might that look like on your note catcher? Ruby, what did you and your partner talk about?
The sun is too bright that you can't really see them. And the stars are really far away, so the light is
I like how you just kind of added on. You just added more to what Jay just said. So Jay was talking about the sun being really bright, but also you're saying those other stars are really far. Stars are far. And if that wanted to look like a quick sketch, maybe I could have the stars looking really small with like an arrow that they're really far away. Now there are some other things that you may choose to put on your note catchers as well. We're only going to work on our notes for maybe 7 or 8 minutes. I'm going to set the timer and we're going to write our notes about this question in our module notebooks. And remember, when we think we're done, we've just begun. You can add more words. You can add more to your quick sketches. You can practice saying those words that you've written to get ready for your science talk. Please don't raise your hand before the timer goes off and tell me that you're done, because there's more work that you can do. Okay, so this is page 75. I'm going to erase what we've talked about here. Everyone's writing their own notes, what's important to them. And this is going to be on page 75 in your book. I will start the timer once I see that most friends have found the page. Okay, let's go back to our seats and let's find page 75. Why can't we see the stars during the day?
Oh, I was just right there. Guys, write your name. The first thing
So look.
is always the same.
So we talked about the word that describes their light when they're really far. Is it bright or dim? Dim. Right, so we're able to see it. Your sketches. You've just begun. What can you add to your pictures, your sketches, or your words? Tell me what you've written so far.
Because the sun is bright.
I love how you can read your own notes. Why else can't we see the stars? Yeah, the sun is very bright. Are there any other reasons?
The sun is really bright.
The sun is really bright. You wrote that already.
Oh, because you can't see because the sun is bright.
Mm-hmm. And you wrote that, right? Are there any other reasons that we can't see the stars?
That's what I can't think.
All you can think of? Let's look back at the chart. Come here. These are all the ideas we talked about. You see stars only at night, not during the day. The stars always shine. The stars are very far away from the earth. The light from the stars is too dim to see in the daylight. Are there any other reasons that we can't see the stars during the day? Yeah. What about the stars? Are they as close to us as the sun?
I got thousands. No?
Where are they? Galaxies away. Oh, I like that. Okay, add that to your notes.
I forgot how to spell
I like how you use the word dim.
stars.
Yeah. There's definitely some resources you can use, right, to help you? I love your full sentences. Can you tell me with your words, like, what are you thinking about sharing during your science talk?
The sun is too bright. So this you can't look at the stars at the same time.
Why not?
Because the sun's too bright.
The sun is bright, but I thought the stars are bright too. Is there something different about these stars than our star that makes it so we can't see them during the day? They're really far away. Really far away. So during the day, what light are we getting? Yeah. I really love how I saw on someone's paper a reason why we actually see them at night. And we talked about that on the carpet yesterday. There is a reason that we see them at night, which can... Why do the stars have to appear to us? This is important. I haven't seen anyone else use that word. If they're always shining, why do they have to appear? Is there something that goes away during the nighttime that allows the stars to appear?
The moon.
Well, the moon does not disappear. What goes away at night?
The light.
Of the...
Sun.
Which allows the...
Stars
to appear. Yeah. What else can you add? The timer's going to go off soon. What else can you add? Can you add anything else? Oh, there it is. All right, friends, finish your last thought. Finish your last sketch. Class. Just like our last science talk about the moon, we're going to bring down our module notebooks to the carpet and we're going to lay them on our lap, open to page, hold on, not yet, sit down. Yogan, sit down, please. When I call your table, we're going to bring our module notebooks up with us, open to page 75, and we're going to set them on our laps. We are not bringing our pencils. This is something that happened last time, and what we were doing was we were fixing our notes instead of participating in the science talk. We're not bringing our pencils to the carpet, just our module notebooks, open to page 75 and ourselves. Table 5, can you guys come down? Table 1, can you come down? Table 2. Table 4. 3 and 4. And table 6. Thanks, Ty.
I didn't have time for any pictures.
Excellent. That's okay.
It's fine.
Remember what we said. You only need to include information that you think will help you in the science talk. For some of us, that's all pictures. For some of us, that's all words. And for some of us, that's both. Elias, will you sit on your bottom, please? Choose how you'd like to sit. If you're sitting like Jay, you're ready to get started like Valentina, like Matthias, with your module notebook in your lap. Now, before we get started on our science talk protocol, I know that we're missing some friends today. So when I'm making your groups, they might be a little bit different than the groups that you used last time, because I'm going to try to make the groups pretty similar in size. But I also need you to remember that I have my checklist with me today. So while... Are we good?
I'm on
Scoot up just a little bit. While I would like to spend most of my time listening to your conversations and not having to help you, what I really want to listen in on is, are you able to do some of these things? Are you able to follow the rules for discussions that we've been practicing? Are you listening with care? Are you speaking one at a time? And are you staying on topic? Are you able to build on others' conversations? This is the hardest part that we've been practicing. So remember our sentence frames? Some of the things we might try to say in our science talk are, oh, I'd like to add. Remember we added some plus signs to our chart because that means we're going to tell more. Or maybe we're going to say, listen to what our friend said and try to retell it in our own words to make sure that we understand, like, oh, I think she means this, or I think he means this. Or what your friend says might help you think of a new idea. This makes me think of something different because, and then we're going to use our notes to tell why. So that's something I'm really going to be listening for. Is there anyone that can build on their conversation and their science talk? And finally, are you able to describe the topics that we've been learning about with details? Are you using your notes to help you with your conversation? We've had a lot of discussions about what conversations look like. Do conversations look like this? I'm going to read my book. Now you read your book. Now you read your book. We're done. No. What do conversations look like? Avyukta, what do they look like?
They look like you don't only have to read your book. You got to think of something and tell.
Right. I know that we've written things down to help us, but think about your conversations in the cafeteria. You're not reading from a script when you're talking to your friends about what they did over the weekend. You're just talking with your voice back and forth, listening to what they say and responding. That's where we're trying to get to. And I said this every time. Is it easy? No. Are we still practicing? Yes. Are we trying to get better? Yes. Okay. You should still be open to page 75. If you're not open to page 75, I need you to fix your module notebook so that you're there. If you're not open to page 75, your notes are of no use to you. Also remember, we said this last time, if you wrote things down that you cannot read, that's a waste of your time taking notes. You're the one that has to be able to use your notes in your conversation. I'm not using them. You're using them to help you talk. Okay? So let's take a look at our protocol. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn and face our group. So our groups might look a little bit different than last time. I'm going to have Peyton, your partner is Yogansh, right? Yeah. Okay. These four friends, can you turn and face each other? These four friends, turn and face each other.
I'm in the middle. Me?
Josiah, who is your partner?
Charlotte.
Okay. You four friends are going to work together. Can you turn and face each other? And then these four friends are going to turn and face each other. Are you looking at your group?
Yeah.
Oh. Charlotte is reminding me that when I tell you the question for your science talk, are you going to immediately begin talking? No. I'm going to give you some think time. I want you to look at your notes and think about what you might say. And when I say the word discuss, that's when I'd like for you to start, okay? My first question that I want you to think about, why can we not see the stars during the day? Why can't we see the stars during the day? Okay, discuss.
Because the sun is too bright. Because the sun is the stars are. Otherwise, it goes right to the star.
But you're not reading your words. Tell them. Tell them why we can't see the stars during the day.
Because the sun is too bright. The sun is so bright. Not nighttime. And because they're too far away.
Okay, so I want you to say, I would like to add that the stars are too far away. Did you hear how she used a sentence frame to help her? Okay, let's keep going.
I went first.
Oh, but remember, we've talked about this. This is not how we have a conversation. What else can you say to answer the question? Why can't we see the stars during the day?
Because the sun's too bright.
What else can we say? Now, Yogansh, since you're making a connection, maybe you can say, I think he means, and now you can say it in your own words.
My boy. What did you write in your book? They are far away.
Okay, good job. And friends, maybe you want to continue your conversation by thinking about this question. Because some people might think this. Do the stars disappear during the day? Okay, continue your conversation. But are the stars still shining? So do they just disappear during the daytime? Tell your friends, don't tell me. Do the stars disappear in the daytime? So what happens?
The stars are so far. The stars are so far. So far.
Wow.
Too far.
So who can add or build on what Charlotte just said? She said the stars are so far. What does that have to do with them disappearing in the day? Go ahead, Aubrey.
The sun is always shining.
The what is? The stars are always shining. There's something that goes away at nighttime, though, isn't there? Tell us. The sun goes away at nighttime, meaning that all of a sudden we can now see what?
The stars.
Yes. Yes.
Can you also
Jason, do you think you can retell what they just said to your group? Okay, go ahead.
And the sun is more closer to us, so we can kind of see that better because it's more bright.
And the reason, and maybe you already shared this, because Avyuta was writing something in her notes about why the stars actually kind of appear to us later. Can you share that?
The sun is too bright for the stars to appear.
So when we remove what? When something goes away at night
The light.
of the,
Sun.
all of a sudden, when that light is gone, now we can see
The stars because then they're the thing that lights up.
That's right. Oh, that makes me very disappointed. I think I need to join this group. Class. I have one more question I want you to think about in your science talk and elaborate on and build on your conversation with. Why is the sun? I've heard this in multiple groups. The reason we can't see the stars during the day is the sun is just so bright. But why, if the sun is a medium-sized star, like we learned yesterday, why is it so bright compared to the others? Why is the sun so bright compared to the other stars that we get to see? Talk about that in your science talk. Why is the sun so bright?
Because the sun is
Go ahead, Ty.
Because it's like a star and the stars are bright.
Someone want to add on to what Ty just said? She said it's like a star.
Because the stars are bright. They're so far.
So if the other stars are so far from us, why is the sun so bright?
Because it's no, the other stars are not that bright. It's the brightest star.
Is that true? Is the sun the brightest star in the universe?
No.
So then why? Why is it so bright?
Because the sun is bright, but the other stars are not that bright.
Why though?
Because it's bright when it's like...
You told me this yesterday. Where is the sun located?
What do you mean?
You told me yesterday the sun is located in our solar system. So it's pretty close to us, right? Other stars are galaxies away. So the sun is so bright because it is
The biggest star?
It's not the biggest star.
It's not the brightest?
Because it's in our solar system. It's the closest star to us.
See? We told you guys. I need some help. Keep your hands by yourself.
3, 2, 1. Hands up. Voice is off. I'm really proud of the way that we tried to build on each other's conversations today. Some of us have some misconceptions that I think that we should continue our conversation as a whole group. So I'd like you to take your module notebook and form a circle on the red line. Let's have one big science talk, because there are some friends who are a little bit confused about something, and I think that we need to have, no, thank you. I need you right here. A conversation so that we can make sure we're all clear about the patterns of the stars. Hey, Kennedy, Ty, and Josiah, can you guys join us on the red line over there? Thank you to those of you that have your books in your lap. The last question that I asked, I think some of us are a little bit confused about the answer. So let's use this last part of our time to have one big science talk. I'm going to ask a question, and I just want you to think about it. And when I say the word discuss, I know we're in a big group, but let's see if someone can start our conversation with what they think is the answer. Why is the sun so bright compared to other stars in the sky? I love how no one shouted out their answer. Think about it. Why is the sun so bright compared to the other stars in the sky? Discuss.
What's it? The stars are bigger. Some stars are bigger than the sun, but some stars are so far from the earth.
Anyone want to share what you think that Jay just said? Go ahead, Charlotte.
The sun is bright. The sun is so bright. And here's my picture. If you can't see it, it says bright and too bright.
Did you hear that Jay said, though, Charlotte, that the sun is bright, and he said something about the stars being far? Can you connect with what Jay said about why the sun is so bright compared to the others?
Because
Oh, Charlotte's going to finish up sharing, and then you can raise your hand, because I know it's hard with all of us, but let's let Charlotte finish.
Because the stars are really far and they only have a little light compared to the sun, so you can't see them in day.
Do we think that the stars that are far away are shining less? No? Okay.
What's the question?
I'm asking you.
What's the because
Do you think that the stars that are far away are shining less than our sun?
yeah.
Avyukta, go ahead.
So technically, the sun is too bright for the stars to appear.
So I think when she says the word appear, it's not that the other stars shine less. Some of them are much bigger than our sun, and they actually shine a lot more. But they appear to be dim to us because they're so far away, so far away, and our sun's light takes up the light that we can see. So the word appear here is very important. The other stars appear to be less bright. They appear to be smaller. But it's just because they're what? So far away that our sun looks like the biggest and brightest object in the sky. And it is to us because the sun is very close to us compared to how far away the stars are. Ty, go ahead.
Because the sun is really bright, and because Tulip is bright, the stars are really far away.
Yes, those two big ideas are the reasons that we can't see the stars during the day, why they look so small to us and they look so dim. When we take away a big light, what's the big light in our sky right now? The sun. When does it go away?
At night.
At night. And that allows what to happen?
This starts to appear.
Go ahead, Elias.
What?
You wanted to share.
No,
When the sun goes away, what does it allow us to see?
the stars.
The light of the stars. Because we've taken away that bright light of the sun. Excellent. We're going to do one last thing on the carpet. If you will find your spot, on the carpet. Let's do one last thing on the carpet.
Where's Pop?
Be back in your spot on your bottom before I get to 0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yoganj. Thank you, Peyton. Thank you for sitting on your bottom, Josiah. Hey girls, let's face the front. I'm really proud of your science talk work today. This is the best one that we've had so far. It's our third one. Every single time we've gotten a little bit better. The thing that we're still probably working on the most is listening to what our friends say and trying to respond. That's the hardest part about the conversation though. We're gonna continue practicing that skill throughout the whole year. But I can see that we've made a lot of progress with it so far. So I'm really proud of you guys. I want you to do a little reflecting about yourself though. I was taking notes about how I thought that each of you were doing as you were talking with your groups. I wanna know how you think that you did. Will you turn and face the board? Turn and face the board. Because you're about to show me with your thermometer how you think you did. Not the whole class, not your group, but you. I listened with care and I did not speak while someone else was speaking. Elias, I can't see your thumb. So a lot of us think that we did well with that skill. I would agree. I did not come across a lot of science talks where people were talking over each other. I built on others' conversations and I used our conversation starters. What do we think? I like how Kennedy is giving me an honest answer and kind of showing, you know, I probably didn't do like the best job I could. I tried my best, but I'm still working on that. I think a lot of us are here, and that's okay. We're moving slowly up this way. And the last one, I used my notes to help me describe my ideas clearly. Thank you for being honest. If you didn't use your notes at all today, it's okay. You're reflecting on what you did. If you looked at your notes, if you read your notes, if you tried to speak from your notes, or if you were somewhere in the middle. Can I see your thumb?
Oh, God.
Okay, great. Great job. We've been talking about different patterns all throughout our unit. We've been working on this chart since the beginning of Unit 2. What are some patterns that we can observe in the sky? And we've flipped this chart so many times that it's just not sticky anymore. I'll have to stick that up on the wall. All right, but here's the chart that we've been building on for our whole unit. So far, we have learned that there's a pattern of light and dark, and that this pattern makes the day and night, and here's what it looks like. We've learned that there's a pattern with the sun. The sun rises and sets every single day, and here's what it looks like. We've learned that there's a pattern of the moon. The moon seems, we highlighted that word seems to change shape. And this is what it looks like throughout the month.
Oh, wow.
And today, now we can add the patterns that we've learned about the stars.
On Saturday, it's going to be a full moon.
So we talked about, it's not your turn to talk. Today we talked about a pattern of the stars. We only see the stars at night. That's what we spent our entire time talking in our science talk about. Quickly, one last time, tell your partner, why do we only see the stars at night? Tell your partner. Hands up. Voices off. I heard all the things I hoped to hear. I heard that it was because the sun is gone at night. I heard it is because the star's light can only shine because during the day the sun's light is too bright, the sun is too close. All of those reasons are why we only see the stars at night. And remember the video that we watched yesterday? Here's our picture to remind us about that pattern. Look at all the patterns. We've learned so much in this unit about the patterns of the sky. Light and dark, the sun, the moon, the stars. The last thing that we're going to do in our lesson today is we're going to write in our sky notebooks. Will you close your module notebook and sit on it, please?
Page 63 and 62.
Thank you, Yogansh. Thank you, Avyukta. Thank you, Matthias. Thank you, Charlotte. We're sitting on our notebooks so that they're not a distraction to us before we go back to our seats and write. We've been talking a lot about adjectives. Adjectives are words to describe a noun. Look at this picture of the sun. Oh my goodness, I almost couldn't find it at first. Look at the sun. Study it. Can you think of any adjectives that would describe the sun in this photograph, Valentina?
The sun is bright.
The sun is bright. Can you think of another? Kenna?
It's small.
The sun looks small in that picture. That's what you were going to say too. Ty?
The sun looks like white or orange.
White or orange. Good color adjectives to describe the sun in that picture. Yogansh, one more.
The sun is in the horizon.
The sun is on the horizon. And that brings me to the next thing I want us to look at. Look at all the positions where the sun could be. Let's see, where do we think the sun looks like it is in the sky? Is it up in the middle?
No.
No. Yogansh just told us it's on the horizon. So there's the horizon where the sun is in the east. That's on this side. Or the sun where the horizon where the sun is on the west. So we agree that this looks like the sun is over here in this spot. So the sentence you might write, like Yogansh just told us, the sun is on the horizon. So what time of day do you think that this is? What time of day is it? Kenna, what time of day is it?
When the sun is setting.
When the sun is setting. Ruby, will you sit up for me, please? Matthias, can I see your face? Thank you. What are people doing when the sun is setting?
Eating dinner.
Think. Just think. What are people doing when the sun is setting? Think about what you did last night when the sun was setting. Let's get up for a second and do a little back-to-back face-to-face. Stand up. Find your partner and turn back-to-back. Turn back-to-back. I'm going to ask the question, and please don't tell your partner until I say face-to-face, and you can show me that you're done when you turn back-to-back again. What are people doing when the sun is setting? Face-to-face.
They're eating dinner. So I wasn't really sleeping because we had dinner late. I was scrolling on TikTok on my phone. No, I was taking
You guys have already discussed? That was
No,
good.
I said they were leaving to school and it's dark.
You both agree with that? Okay, turn back-to-back if you're done.
Okay. I think people would be either eating dinner or eating a snack.
All right, back-to-back.
Tuckies.
Back-to-back. And then sit back down on your module notebook. I think that we're ready to write. May I borrow this? We've just talked about all of your responses for your Sky notebook today. There are two different pages that you're going to do. The first is page 63. It looks just like this. Let's get some sentence frames on the board so to help you with your sentences in your book. Our first sentence is asking about what we see in the sky. We've been starting our sentence with the words, the sun looks, or the sun is. You can choose either one to describe what the sun looks like. How many adjectives do you think I want you to use? At least 3. Next, where do we see the sun? Yogansh kind of answered this question for us. I'd like you to start your sentence by saying, the sun is, and this is going to tell where the sun is located. So maybe we want to start our first sentence by saying the sun looks. Our first sentence will tell us what the sun looks like. Our second sentence will tell us where the sun is located in the sky. On page 64, so you're going to have to turn the page. Nope, it's not the moon. It's what are people doing? Did you just talk about this with your partner? How could you start this sentence? People are. People are. And with the words people are, you can describe at least one thing that people are doing during this time of the day and draw a picture to match. You will receive a full smiley face on your paper if you've answered all 3 parts with a complete sentence and you've drawn a picture to match on page 64. If you only get 1 dot, that means that you've answered something wrong and I want you to try again. If I give you 2 dots, you're on your way, but you're not quite finished yet. And a full smiley face means you got it, you're done. Charlotte, do you have a question?
Who's doing that? And now I have to put my leg over Kennedy.
We're about to head to our seats. Can everyone pick up their module notebook? And you're going to find page 63 first. Matthias, here's yours. Friends, I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes left in our lesson today. 63. Thank you. If someone needs me, they can raise their hand from their seat. Thank you, Jason, and I will come and see you. Go ahead. Page 63. So we're going to go past the 30s, past the 40s, past the 50s. There it is. And look, on the board, we can remember our first sentence. The sun looks. What are 3 ways you would describe the sun?
The sun looks bright.
Right?
The sun looks
Orange. Jason, wash your hands, honey.
The sun looks in the horizon.
Like it's on the horizon. We're going to talk about where the sun's located in the second sentence. Does it look big or small to you?
Small.
Okay, that could be your third adjective. Okay, the sun looks.
Can you help me?
Yeah. The sun looks. Oh. Remember, we're writing a complete sentence. The sun looks orange and white. Okay, so I need you to add the beginning of a sentence so that it can be complete. Or you could just add up here, the sun looks orange and white. That way you don't have to erase what you've written. So this is 1 adjective. How many adjectives do I want you to use? 3. Can you read what you wrote?
The sun is white. The sun is small. The sun is orange.
Excellent. What about here?
The sun is on the horizon.
Great. I love how you used a period in each of these sentences. What about this one?
Oopsies.
Perfect. Okay. You're ready for page 64. Before I have you move on, I like how you used first grade spelling here, but I'm remembering that there's a spot in the room where you might be able to figure out how to actually spell that word correctly. Do you see it? I love how you're looking at all of them. Did you find it? Yeah? Okay. Can I see it when you finish just to make sure that you got it? Good job. Friends, Kennedy is reminding me that even though we are experts at first grade spelling, a lot of the words we want to use can be found on our resources. We've got our vocabulary wall over here. We've got our charts. Even some of our color words are on our name tags. So let's use first grade spelling where we are not able to use a resource to spell the words correctly. Okay? Can you read me your sentence?
The sun is orange, white, half.
How do we start our sentence?
The sun
Now, that word orange, I like how you use first grade spelling, but like I said, is there a place where you can look at the right way to spell it? Okay, use your resource and then I'll come back and check the rest. Sun, look. White is low and bright. You're on your way, but does that sentence make sense? It's missing a couple of words. Sun is look. You take a look at it, I'll come back. There we go. The sun is down in the horizon. Okay, good job. Ty, excellent job with the spaces. I can read your writing. You read it to me.
The sun looks. Oh wait, I don't know how to do it. The sun
Looks. What word was this going to be?
I didn't make that. I don't remember.
Well, it doesn't make sense without it. The sun looks the horizon. The sun looks in or on. Ty. Sun is like white. Well, the word look wasn't wrong. I was just looking for this first word. The sun looks, or the sun is like, that's fine. White is low and bright.
You said
I said the. Now you read it and tell me if it makes sense. Perfect. Just missing one thing. She figured it out before I even told her. The sun is on. All right, one more. The sun is on horizon. The sun is on is horizon. But you know what word you want to say, right? What word is missing? The sun is on. I knew you would figure it out. Good job. That gets a double smiley face. All right, good work. Friends, I can see that the timer may go off before I get a chance to check all of yours, but that's okay, because I can take it out and look at it tomorrow morning. What's this word?
White.
White. Can you look on your desk name tag to see how to spell that word? People are getting Eddie. Eddie. Eddie.
Oh, have W-H.
Yes, it does. Good job. Are eating or eating dinner. Good. What are you missing? I love how Matthias noticed that the word white has our digraph this week, WH. Did anybody else notice that? You did? You noticed that? You can. Did I not check this one? Check your cups on those two sentences. You're almost finished. Very good. Okay. Remember our sentence frame on this page. She did her own cups. Excellent. Good job. Okay, so your last on this page is to look at where the sun is located and write the sun is. The sun is. Where is the sun in the sky?
On the horizon.
The sun is on the horizon. Good. What word is this? Kind of. Remember that word of? It's like a double trap word. Of. Do you see it over there? I know it sounds like UV, but remember it's a double trap.
Wait.
You're almost done, Adriana. Good.
Double.
can read from your book basket. We have about a minute left. Dinner.
Do we have to do other one? Do we have to do other one, Miss Baker? Do we have to do other one here?
It's here. What are the people doing? Good. The timer is about to go off. You can read from your book basket, okay? Good. The people are eating. What letter is that?
D.
Is it?
D.
Well, dinner.
Miss Burkett. Miss Burkett.
Very good job. Okay. We don't have much time, but you can start drawing or writing. What are people doing when the sun looks like that? Class.
Just in time. Miss Burkett, please.
Waterfall. You guys did a great job with your writing. Excellent job using your resources, writing complete sentences with our sentence frames. If I didn't have a chance to check yours now, you can show it to me tomorrow morning during morning work, and I'll give you your smiley face then, okay? For right now, let's close our books and let's get ready to do a brain break.